Before the Grenfell, all you can see is beautiful. It's a beautiful tower. Everyone just coming down, having a nice day, and the next day you just see ashes on the floor. It's very emotional. Once this was my playground, and now it's all blocked off. Like, my memories are like, they're locked away. Like, I'm not allowed to reach them again.
We were unsure who'd made it, who didn't, who died, who survived.
I just broke down, like, out of nowhere. I've never broke down like that in my life. Like, my whole face covered in tears.
Hello.
They lost family and friends, children who saw the tower burn.
It was like kind of like mesmerizing because you didn't want to look at it, but your eyes were forced to look at it.
I've never seen something like that before. And I remember seeing, to this day, I still remember seeing at the top of the tower, like a light, like trying to get attention for help. And I was just looking up there. I was just silent, like whilst people were screaming, and I was just there, just looking at that.
I was hearing people screaming, saying, "Don't jump, don't jump." It was like a horror film, so I decided to run back home.
72 people died in the fire, and overnight young children were overwhelmed with grief. Randa lost 5 members of her family and one of her best friends. How did you feel knowing that you lost people that you knew inside the tower?
Words can't express that, to be honest with you, because you have love for these people and they're not there anymore. It's like you just close your eyes and you open them and they're just gone. You can see them the same day you say, I'm going to see them, I'm going to see you tomorrow, and there's no tomorrow.
How much do you miss them?
A lot. Because one of them, I used to tell everything to them. Like, we used to talk on the phone, and now it's like there's no phone conversations.
How did that make you feel?
Lonely, to be honest with you.
Some children managed to escape from the tower. NAILA was on the 18th floor. What do you remember of that night?
My mum waking me up and telling me that we needed to evacuate, like, now, because of fire coming into the kitchen. We were unsure who'd made it, who didn't, who died, who survived. So it was really like all up in the air.
An entire area of West London was affected by Grenfell, a community coping with a tragedy on its doorstep.
We know on the night of the fire, I think it's approximately 4,000 people witnessed the fire, which is a huge number of people. And because it went on for such a long time, that's also what made it different.
The devastation left by Grenfell resulted in not only the biggest mental health response in the UK, but one of the largest in the world. Figures obtained by ITV News show that in North Kensington, 10,000 people were screened for trauma, with 2,000 given treatment, and of these, 744 were children.
For a lot of people who were directly involved as survivors of the fire, they developed PTSD, and also a lot of people who witnessed it were also experiencing initially kind of trauma-related symptoms, some of which went on to develop into more severe PTSD.
After the fire, SHAHEED was finding it hard to cope with the death of his friend.
And when I heard that Beric passed away, I just broke down, like, out of nowhere. I've never broke down like that in my life. Like, my whole face covered in tears, my whole face was wet, and it was something I've never experienced that in my life.
But he wasn't alone. An entire generation of children was struggling with their emotions.
I just didn't know how to feel because it's never happened like something big like that before. I was just like, what do I do? Like, I broke down into tears.
It all built up inside me, and suddenly it just hit me one day, and my mum saw it because I was helping her the whole time and making sure she was all right, but she kind of forgot to check if I was all right because I would always act like I was all right. So I kind of like pushed everything away to help myself. So the state I was in that night, I was kind of in that state for a long time because I just avoided talking about it because I just felt like it was for the best.
How serious were their symptoms, would you say?
Serious enough for them to need support. Young people had reported experiencing things like flashbacks, panic attacks, very classic symptoms of of PTSD or when someone's witnessed a traumatic event.
Especially with the trauma that they've all experienced. You know, some of them were in the tower, some of them lost families, some of them were in the community. So they all had their own different levels of trauma, but as Amel said, when they were screened, they all screened very high.
Confused in the chaos after the fire, traditional therapies weren't working for some children.
Well, the first help that I got was a one-to-one therapist, and I didn't really like that. Like, it wasn't for me. I just felt like it was so awkward being in a room with one other person who didn't really understand what was happening. I just saw them as a professional rather than someone that could relate to me.
So with NHS support, these children joined together, forming their own group called Young Grenfell, meeting in a youth club to help each other.
I went there and I saw a lot of familiar faces, people I didn't know that were hurting or didn't want to talk or were in the same situation as me. Like, they wanted to express themselves, but they didn't know how to channel it.
This was a form of group therapy using talking, art, and creating books, writing memories of their lost friends.
It helped a lot, to be honest with you, because at the start I was a really angry person. So I'd just take out my anger while I was in these groups. It made me be a better person now, and I can control my anger. I thought it wouldn't help me at all, so that's why I never started to go. Wow, I'm starting to go now, and it's really useful.
When I came to the group taught me techniques and how to like deal with flashbacks, and I started to like use them. I feel better. Like before, when I used to talk about it, I'd get emotional, but now not as much.
Well, the group helped me with a lot of things. It helped me manage my emotions. It helped me become who I am today, like become this confident person.
JOHARA.
Young Grenfell has become so successful, its members have all become NHS ambassadors, championing mental health in the community.
Being an NHS ambassador is helping other people who don't know how to reach out to help or tell them that having mental health is okay and having problems and being upset over certain things, it's all right.
I can help like young people and tell them that young people that are going through PTSD, I can tell them and help them and recommend groups to them and say to them, I've been to a group, it's helped me.
I'm really proud that I can help others. I needed some support as well, so me and the others encouraging other people to get the same help I have is really good.
2.5 years after the fire, together, this group moves forward, never forgetting those they left behind.
I've learned how to cope with it. Like, I've learned maybe breathe out, breathe in, think of different techniques that will help you calm down, and don't think of it in a bad way. Think of it, they were gone for a reason. It might not be in the best way that they went, but in our religion, they're not gonna go to hell, they're gonna go to heaven because they died in a fire and they never had the chance, like, we never had the chance to say goodbye, but we said goodbye slowly, and I don't think we should forget about it.